Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
He was home on holiday break when he was killed in a hit and run.
It's a parent's worst nightmare. Just terrible to get that call and then to find out, that someone just left him in the road. And I don't know how you reconcile that. It's just very difficult.
Now the family of this MSU senior pleading for help to find the driver responsible. 22-year-old Benjamin Cable was killed the morning of New Year's Day as he was walking along Rochester Road in Oakland Township.
There is now a $1,000 reward to find the driver who hit and killed him. Pamela Osborne following this for us tonight. And Pam, you've learned he was heading back to his family's home in Shelby Township the morning he died.
He was. He had left that evening, and before he even left, he had plans to take an Uber to his friends and to Uber back home after that New Year's Eve party celebration. For reasons the family still doesn't understand, that Uber driver put him out here on Rochester Road. As you can see, it's pretty dark, likely this dark when the accident happened. There isn't a sidewalk, barely a shoulder to walk on, and this is where he was when he was hit and killed. That driver kept going.
Yeah, MSU has been great, just fantastic. They're actually going to award him his degree posthumously, which is so important to him because he worked so hard. But it's just such a hard thing to say goodbye to your son.
There's an emptiness in the Cable home. This was the year Michael, Stacy, and Ben's 5 siblings were to celebrate him. The 22-year-old was a semester away from getting his degree in electrical engineering. He was home for the holidays, celebrating with friends New Year's Eve when he became the victim of a fatal hit and run.
Never would drink and drive.
Dad Michael says an Uber took Ben to the party. Things did not go as planned on the ride home. The driver put him out on Rochester Road near Wims Lane in Oakland Township.
He texted his friends that they kicked him out and he was walking from there.
Ben didn't make it far. A witness who saw Ben walking also watched as a woman in a BMW 3 Series, possibly white and similar to this one here, hit him. That man got out. He tried to save Ben as the woman drove away.
You need to do the right thing. Not only for yourself, but for us. It's terrible for us.
It's hard to make sense of any of it, but the Cables do believe this, that someone, somewhere, may know who did this. If that person is you, a father preparing to lay his youngest son to rest, would like you to consider this.
This is going to haunt you the rest of your life, and it's going to haunt us the rest of our lives as well. But at least there could be some closure.
And Ben graduated from Rochester High School. He was a wrestler. He played football, had so many friends there and at MSU. And that is how family said they're going to remember him as a great kid who was loved by so many. Another note about that BMW, it's either white, gray, or possibly silver. Police believe it's going to have some sort of front end damage to it, maybe even missing parts of his grille. That driver is believed to be a woman in her mid-30s. So if any of this sounds at all familiar to you, Oakland County Sheriffs, they need you to pick up the phone and give them a call now. Reporting live in Oakland Township, I'm Pamela Osborne, Local 4.
Just a heartbreaking situation. All right, Pam. Let's move to breaking news now tonight from Detroit's east side, where a utility worker finds a body buried in a shallow grave.
So the discovery was made on Hilldale near 7 Mile and Van Dyke. Mar McDonald is there with the latest.
Devin, Kimberly, DPD is confirming for us that these are human remains, but I want you to take a look. Not only do we have a ton of DPD personnel out here, but we also have the FBI. As a matter of fact, that unit you see with the lights is an FBI evidence response unit. That is not something you typically see on scenes like this. What started with a flood of uniformed officers quickly gave way to detectives. Then the FBI rolled in with its evidence response team. Typically, Detroit police and its own crime scene techs process the scene when a discovery like this is made. Not tonight. Police were called out here after a utility worker reported seeing a body part sticking out of a shallow grave in the rear of the home. Neighbors who were not home when all this started up tell me the abandoned homes on this block have been a plague for a long time. The grave was found in the rear of this abandoned home, which sits next to another abandoned home, and there are more on the block. After going back with shovels and tools, the group returned up front late tonight to gear up in white suits. While the department will confirm that the remains are human, they are not at this point confirming a gender. I can tell you we've had a tremendous amount of bulletins out of the department over the last several weeks of missing people, some as young as 12, some in their 60s. It is unclear whether this is someone who has been here for a short amount of time or whether this grave has been here longer. We are on Detroit's east side. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
All right, Mara. For the second straight day, the House is adjourned for the night after failing to elect a Speaker of the House. Shortly after reconvening tonight, the House voted to adjourn until tomorrow. Another memorable day inside the U.S. Capitol. 3 more votes held, with GOP leader Kevin McCarthy failing to get a majority to win the speakership, with about 20 holdouts ignoring pleas from former President Trump overnight to support McCarthy. Here's McCarthy talking with reporters shortly after it was announced that there would not be another vote tonight.
You know, I think it's probably best let people work through some more. I don't think voting tonight does any difference. I think voting in the future will.
Do you have a deal with those guys right now?
No, not really yet, but a lot of progress.
Does that mean no vote tonight?
I don't think voting tonight is productive. I think let people work a little more.
And there was no vote tonight. The House cannot continue with any other business, though, until a Speaker is elected. So no swearing in of the new members, no committee assignments. The House will be back in session tomorrow at noon.
Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin remains in critical condition tonight, but the team says there are some encouraging signs. 2 days after collapsing on the field, Hamlin is still in the ICU, but showing signs of improvement. Across the country, as teams prepare to resume play for the final week of the regular season, coaches and players are offering their support, including the Lions, who opened today's team meeting with a prayer.
And we just felt like that was the best thing to do. That was the right thing to do. When you don't have words and there's really nothing, you know what to say, how to say, how you got all these, there's waves of emotion. That's the best thing. And so we did that, and that's where we left it.
Meanwhile, the NFL's chief medical officer says the league is investigating every possible cause to Hamlin's cardiac arrest.
Detectives make a fentanyl bust in Macomb Township after a resident was caught selling fentanyl pills pressed to look like oxycodone pills. A traffic stop yesterday in St. Clair County led detectives to a search of the suspect's home. Investigators recovered more than 1,900 fentanyl pills, 30 grams of cocaine. They seized 2 vehicles and about $6,000 in cash.
Detroit police are investigating a deadly shooting near a school. Happened around 8:30 this morning outside Tricks Academy on Joanne Avenue on the city's east side. The body was found in a grassy area outside the school. We're told school was not in session when the man was shot to death. Police say about 20 to 25 shots were fired. Officers with the 9th Precinct credit ShotSpotter technology for their quick response to that scene.
The ShotSpotter is an extremely valuable tool, especially in the 9th Precinct. In this particular case, the ShotSpotter system, the sophisticated GPS technology brought us right to where the victim was, allowed us to find evidence of the crime. So ShotSpotter does a lot of good in the 9th Precinct.
No word yet from DPD on a possible shooter, but officers are reviewing video from nearby homes. A Detroit man is facing a list of criminal charges after being accused of shooting at an officer following a police chase.
Happened on Monday near 8 Mile and Mound when Warren police tried stopping a 2020 Malibu. The driver fled the scene, as you see, crashed into another vehicle, taking off on foot. Intense moments following that were caught on camera when he fires at a Warren officer, and that then led to a shootout. Police say that driver was 29-year-old Willie Allen, out on bond for a carjacking, resisting and obstructing a police officer. He's now being held on $1 million bond.
Oxford High School shooter Ethan Crumbley will go before a judge tomorrow for a hearing. Every month, a judge must decide if the 16-year-old should stay in the Oakland County Jail or be transferred to a juvenile facility. Last year, Crumbley pleaded guilty to all 24 counts against him, including first-degree murder and terrorism.
Changes coming in the forecast.
Changes is right. Forewarned meteorologist Kim Adams here with some cooler temperatures, plus tracking some light snow showers. Kim?
I know, it's just almost a never good sign when the anchors tell us with changes on the way.
Well, we knew it was coming.
It's rarely a good thing, but we had the temperatures today in the 50s in some spots and even got a little sunshine. But now we're down into the 30s, 39 in Detroit. Howell's at 37, also in Adrian, 38 in Pontiac. Exact Track 4D radar. It's quiet across much of Metro Detroit, but a little area of rain just developed over Flint. It went through parts of Livingston County, now into extreme northwest Oakland County. White Lake getting a light rain shower. Temperatures are above freezing, so this won't be any problem. And most of Metro Detroit is dry tonight. Temperatures again above freezing. In fact, mild in Mount Clemens, only 43 degrees there. Also at City Airport, 39 Metro, 38 Pontiac, upper 30s in Howell and in Ann Arbor. Well, the warm front that we hoped had come through yesterday finally made its way across the Ohio border. Yesterday, it just kind of hung out right around Toledo. Toledo made it to 61 today. Officially out at the airport today, we did hit 60 degrees, but some of the northern suburbs stayed in the 40s because that warm front didn't quite get to their neighborhood. Now tomorrow, much cooler with highs in the upper 30s and a chance of just a flurry or maybe a light snow shower tomorrow. I'll have your weekend forecast in a few minutes.